On Wide World of Sports Sunday edition, welcome also to Shane Dye, who will represent his home country of New Zealand in the Australia versus NZ Jockeys Challenge, which gets underway next Saturday at Warwick Farm with 2 races, another 2 at Randwick on Sunday next. You look at fielding a pretty good side, the Kiwis.
Yeah, we've got a very young side. The Australian side's got the experience, John. I think they're all nearly over 40. They're going a bit grey, most of them, but I'm sure it'll be a great competition. And the AJC are doing a very good job. There's races next Saturday at Warwick Farm and then on the Sunday at Randwick. And they're putting on plenty of entertainment for people, so it should be a good weekend for people to get out there, especially if the weekend's good. And it's going to be a great series, John.
Going a bit grey, some of those jockeys. I haven't noticed. They must be looking after it pretty well.
Haven't you seen Kevin Moses lately?
A few grey ones?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's fashionable. I'm trying it myself. Well, talking about jockeys, Shane, young Ian Gosh, who rode Glenmurray Rogue in the final race, was the target for a prolonged steward's inquiry because he dropped his hands in the last 20 or 30 metres and the horse was beaten in the last stride by Blazing Anchor. Now, the picture will tell the story in a moment, but firstly, do some horses tend to stop dead when you relax on them?
There's no doubt some do, but I think in this case the horse was going forward and his momentum was carrying him. But the older horses, you get a lot that are cunning that stop naturally, John.
All right, well, Glenmurray Rogue, at this stage, Ian Gosh is hard at work with the whip. He's about 3 in front. It didn't look possible for Blazing Anchor to pick him up. Now, watch very close to home. In fact, 3 strides from the post, Ian Gosh relaxes, but I honestly believe Blazing Anchor had grabbed him a stride before the post. But watch Glenmurray Rogue. His momentum carries him over the line. Blazing Anchor's going to beat him anyway. And after all, the margin was a neck, which is damn near a half length. Yeah, it wasn't as though he won by half an inch.
I think the last angle was a bad angle also, the last film, because the second horse was stopping. The winner was getting over top him, and he actually got to the front before the winning post. And if you have a look at the film, it looks as though right on the winning post, he got to the front, but it was an incorrect.
That's right, an optical illusion. Yeah. By the same token, Ian Gosh shouldn't have done what he did. There's no doubt about that. In fact, I think he got off pretty lightly. I think the stewards were fairly lenient in just giving him a warning.
Well, he should have kept riding this horse. There's no doubt about that, John. But really, when you're having a look at the film, it didn't reverse the decision.
Shane, let's have a look at race 3 now, the clear finish handicap, and seniority gave trainer Ray Guy a winning double. I think this is his first win this time in seniority, so he's probably not a good punter's horse. That's him on the outside with the white blaze and the white feet. He wants to drift off the track all the way down the straight.
He's riding very well, McDougall. He rode him. He had the run of the race and had every chance. The second horse battled on well here, Page Prince. He goes very well at Rosehill. Probably one of the horses to follow in the race is a horse called Single Seal coming down the outside. I know he got beat a long way, John, but he covered a lot of ground. He was back last and he made his run late, and he does go well.
Seniority's sire was that great little horse McGinty, who beat Masquet in the Todman Slipper trial a couple of weeks before the Golden Slipper almost 10 years ago. He broke down in running that day. Golly, he must have had a heart, McGinty.
Yeah, he did. He was a very good horse. He was no good on wet tracks. The third horse in that race, though, John, was a horse called My Red Deer, and he's a 9-year-old still racing, and he's racing very well.
Good run, wasn't it? And he's now with Neville McBurney, who's a very good hand with a horse, another Kiwi.
Yes, he used to work with Brian Smith.
That's right. Now, the Missile Stakes, Group 3, standard weight for age, and the great little mare Joanne, who is now a 6-year-old, scored her 15th win. She trails the New Zealander Madame Velita into the straight, but Shane, the surprise packet is the one on the outside, Spanish Mix, who was way up in class.
Yes, she was. She ran very well. I think the horse that ran third on the fence there, the red cap, Madame Velita, if it gets a wet track in Australia, it's going to be very hard to beat. All of its form in New Zealand's on wet tracks, and she's stuck on very well to run fourth. But no doubt Joanne's the class horse, and her win was very, very good, and she's going to be very hard to beat in 2 weeks' time in the Premier Stakes, John.
As a 6-year-old mare, Shane, she's in the minority. Very few of these top mares race on to that age in Australia. They're at the stud usually long before this.
That's right, but Jack Denham has placed her very, very well, and she's won first up every time. And let's face it, yesterday's field wasn't an overly strong field of sprinters, and she was just too good.
You rode a horse in that race called Burrendar Boy. I don't think I've ever seen him go as fiercely in the early stages as he did.
I probably should have led on the horse in hindsight. I let them go. They were going pretty quick, and then Mick eased a bit on Joanne, and I got in behind him, and it just didn't suit him. But there's no way he would have won the race.
Oh, no. Is he one of those horses that likes to run, though, is he?
Yeah, looking at the race, I should have probably led on him.
Yeah, 1,000 at Randwick.
That would really suit him.
We'll sweat on one. Let's go to Melbourne now. The action came from Sandown. Race 2 on the card was the Garden Vale handicap over 1400. The winner here is Take a Wish, a 3-year-old colt, trained by Colin Alderson, Shane. He gives these leaders about 4 lengths. Now, Sir Luskin, in the yellow colours, takes the lead here over Dr. Oates. Scully is on the 3 horses out, and here comes Take a Wish in the blue colours. I like the way he went to the line, this horse.
Yeah, Colin Alderson's got a few good horses. This horse is one of them, and also a horse called Alderson, who looks a Cups contender. It's a very, very good run. He's a horse by...
Take Your Partner.
Take Your Partner. Yeah, that's right. The third horse, Stolly, he's by Marauding, so the Marauding's also going well.
By gee, the Maraudings are now 3-year-olds, of course, and it'll be interesting to see how they train on. I imagine trainers are waiting with bated breath.
Well, there seems to be a lot of fillies about. Watch, Burst's another one. Genola of Brian Mayfield Smith, so he's going to have plenty of opportunities to produce good horses.
Have you been up to Warwick Farm yet to jump on Burst?
No, I haven't, but apparently she's going very, very well, and she looks good, and she'll come back on, I think, the Silver Shadow Stakes on August 21st.
And then all the big ones in Sydney and Melbourne?
Melbourne, yep.
Now, race 5 at Sandown, the Moondar Plate over 1,200 metres. Lucky Dapper leads them around the turn. This is the horse that won the Ramornie at Grafton last Wednesday week. Black Rouge, Shane, in the white blinkers and the black cap, is putting in a dash. Now, Diamond Zephyr is coming along the fence, white sleeves and a purple cap. There she is there.
I think the horse to watch in this is a horse called Ivory Way, right down the outside here. Horse Michael Clark rode. Got home very, very strong, John. He's being set for the Cups. He ran 2nd in last year's Caulfield Cup and 5th in the Melbourne Cup. And as we know, good stayers can sprint well fresh, and he's certainly sprinted very, very well. There's no doubt the best ride in the race was Greg Charles. He timed his run very, very well on the winner, Diamond Zephyr. And she's a filly who always wins 1 or 2 even every season, but she must have races run to suit her.
Funny thing, I mentioned that Joanne, as a 6-year-old, was in an unusual category, mares racing to that age. This one is also a 6-year-old mare, Diamond Zephyr. She's no Joanne, though. No.
The trouble with Ivory Way is he's had leg troubles before. Hopefully this time he won't. And if he hasn't, there's no doubt he'll be a major Cups contender.
Well, Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum will be very pleased to hear that. He owns the horse, of course. He's down to his last 30 oil wells.
They've got plenty of money, haven't they?
OK, the flying handicap at Doomben yesterday was the principal race in Brisbane. As they straighten up, Minstrel Dancer, which was formerly trained in Sydney by Jack Denham, is the leader over Old Roman Senator. On guard is the grey, back there with the black cap, Shane, trained by Paul Sutherland. And here comes the winner, Sir Geoffrey, on the outside. He's a 7-year-old. It was an oldies day.
Yeah, he's getting pretty old. Here's a horse by Avon Valley. Probably Roman Senator is the best horse in the race, but at 1,200 metres he struggles. He's only a sprinter, 1,000 metres. It's pretty hard to find many horses in the race, John. The second horse run very well, Minstrel Dancer. It's a very consistent horse and run very well.